Afternoon YouTube, this is Big Boss here, time for another gun review, and it is of the GHK AK-74M, or should I say greetings comrades, because this is a Russian gun. This is not one of those terrorist style weapons. This is one of the new rifles out there for the Russian military. This is made in real steel. It's made by Ishmash in Russia, and it is one of the finest weapons ever built. It is just as, it's basically giving you, because the real steel is a 5.45 caliber and it's on modern production lines, you are basically getting your standard Kalashnikov reliability, which has been the standard in terms of reliability standard in the world in terms of reliability, as well as on par with M16 accuracy. Maybe just as good. I have not really shot a 5.45, but I know by the cartridge. And I'm going to say everyone who says the AK-47 is an inaccurate weapon is full of shit, because I have shot one, and it's not a nail driver, but for battlefield conditions, it is an accurate rifle. Up to 300 meters, an AK-47, that also comes down to what the cartridge, the 7.62x39 cartridge, tends to drop off because of the velocity. So but this one, being a 5.45 in real steel, is very accurate and a very good weapon. Now it's on to the airsoft version. It's based off a 100 series AK, which basically means it's a, or as they call it, they don't give it a 100 series number, it's AK-74M, as in a modernized AK-74, which in 100, and what that typically means, it has polymer furniture, polymer grip, and also a folding buttstock, which feels like a fixed buttstock. If you've seen Gabe Suarez's video on AK gunfighting, Too Simple to Be Tactical, I believe, where he calls these style stocks. They are pretty much the most comfortable style, but think of them as fixed stocks, which you can also fold. Also has a opening in the stock that's on a real one where you put your combination tool, because a lot of the wire folding stocks, like on that old style, you couldn't put the combo tool in it, or on that wire stock. So this just makes a way to keep it on a real one as far as gun goes. You also have 2 serial numbers. They are matching for the most part. This is a 4-digit one, and this is a 6-digit, and you also have a red star. Right here you have your dovetail mount for mounting a PSO scope or a other Russian optics, or a rail which will mount here and come over to the top where you can mount any optic you wish, because it's an RIS rail. Now let's get on to the grip and trigger mechanism. The grip is the same dimensions as a real steel grip, I believe, so if you wanted to put a Tapco saw pistol grip or any other AK grip, you could probably do it, because I know on the M4s you can. Now let's get to the disassembly, and hopefully I do it right now. Selector switch. I'll do that first. This is my one complaint on the gun, in that it's rather loose. I think it can be tightened, but right up there it's on safe, full auto, semi-auto. Same basic standard AK control like any AK, AEG. This right here, take the dust cover off, you take the recoil spring off, like that, then you have your bolt. Right here you have your hammer, which is much like a real one. And to reassemble, take your recoil spring and rod. I find it easiest to do it like this. Okay, let's see if I can get a picture of the hammer. This piece right here, if you can see it move when I pull the trigger, that's the hammer. That is how a real one is. When you put the dust cover on. Much like a real AK, this will fire with the dust cover off, which I may do when I do the shooting clip, show that. And right here you have your sights, standard AK notch sights. That is really the negative about an AK in terms of accuracy, because you have a very short sight picture, so any error you make in lining up those sights is going to be magnified. I forgot you also have a sling swivel on here and at the front. Now, I will tell you one thing. I may do a video on this if I can get someone to shoot it, about why AKs, you can use a 3-point sling, but they are designed primarily for a 2-point sling. And if you have seen Spetsnaz, Weaponology, Sonny, I think it's Bazooka, shows you why they go with a 2-point sling for the most part, because of how they do their weapon transitions. But also with a 3-point sling and real steel fighting, if you get in a hand-to-hand, you may have to ditch your weapon, but if the sling's attached to your body, you can't do it. But this is airsoft. But where the sling catch point is here and here, I don't think wearing a 3-point sling would be too comfortable. Now, a 1-point would be okay, and it seems to be on rather snugly. Okay, now let's get to the handguard. Polymer. Very well made. Basically, I believe it's on a pretty real steel quality. Now, the gun itself, the externals are based on a Du Bois AK-74, and Du Bois is kind of turned around with their AKs. I believe they are making some steel. Now, I know this metal is pretty decent. Right there, you have your hop unit, standard AK magazine release. Your barrel, this is metal, compensator. Standard on any AK-74. Now here you have your magazine. It's 50 rounds. This is the green gas one. Sorry, loader, just got to gas it up. Now I do like the GHK AK a lot better than the AGM, because the GHK AK does not cool down as fast as an AGM M4, so it gets better gas consumption. The AGM Gas M4, which is going to be reviewed soon, is a gas hog. I mean, it is basically a fucking Hummer when it comes to gas consumption, and the magazine is a rather heavy bastard. Let's get back to the AK. It is loaded, gassed up, and you are going to get a shooting test. This is on semi-automatic. Now you're going to get one on fully automatic, or what we call the fun position. Now I'm going to have to switch hands on the camera, because I'm going to show you, you're going to see how much kick this gun has. Now you're going to see the camera shake a little bit when firing, and that is not me. The camera will be held steady on top of the receiver, but this will be the shaking. Lot better gas consumption than an AGM M4. A lot better cooldown too. It doesn't consume as much gas. I didn't put much in, so I'm going to finish the magazine off. And I'm going to just to prove a point, like you can on a real one, you can fire it without the dust cover. And you're going to get more of a view of the working parts. And that's the end of my review on the GHK AK-74.